Good morning, Stampers. So I'm just a second or two late this morning because I have a really cool project for you, including a printable tutorial. So I've got this for you. There's a link in the video description, so if you haven't downloaded it yet, you'll want to go check this out. But we are making a LovenStamps treat heart packet this morning. I was thinking Valentine's, and I don't know, I remember using MLK Day to kind of make up Valentines for classes when I was a little kid. And so I was thinking, remember those little, like, I don't know if you had the current Valentines from like the current brand or, you know, something like that, but they were always like a triple fold card, and they always had like a little heart-shaped envelope that went with them, and they, you know, fit a candy inside. So I thought, you know what, we're gonna do that today. And I figured out all the details on the sizing for you, which was no simple feat, because you want everything has to fold across, and it all has to close, and it has to finish with a stick or something. So anyway, I'm really excited to share this tutorial with you. So when we're done watching, you can click in the video description. There's a link to the packet. It's a blog post, and you can grab that as a downloadable PDF. So, all right. So what are we using today? We are using our Sweet Talk Conversation Hearts paper. We're going to use the colors that are taken right out of this Stampin' Up! Paper. And then we're going to use this download that I've got here. So, are you guys ready? I'll give you some instructions. You will probably want to follow along, although I did put directions on the packet itself. So, or on the download itself. So, all right. And I'm glad you guys like my sweater. It's cold here, and I am kind of a warm weather wuss, I guess, in this. I would have no problem going out and camping in the super cold weather, but I don't like just being out in it, like, you know, vaguely prepared. So I needed a warm sweater. Plus, there is a guy here fixing our furnace right now. So anyway, nothing like a video, right, when other stuff is going on. So, I didn't say good mornings. Hi to Joyce and Tanya and Sue and Kay and Susan. And, we have some fun, Doris and Pam and Trish, Carol, everybody. So kind of fun on a holiday to get together. And we have some friends who maybe could join us who wouldn't normally. So that is always exciting. And all right, I'm getting this ready here. Oop, I've got this. Sorry, guys. I double clicked on something, and so then I can't see your comments when we're chatting, which clearly is not useful, especially because I think you might have some questions as we go along on here. Okay. So ask questions if you have them, and I will make sure that I fill them in, and people who watch later will benefit from your questions. So Sweet Conversation stamp set, which is part of the whole Sweet Talk suite, which is this one here, so paper and stamps and dies and so forth. And if you found this tutorial because you're just looking for kids' Valentine projects, make sure you check out my website at LovenStamps.com for all kinds of supply information. But I'm going to pick one of these papers, and I think I might go with this one here, because I think, let's see, what should I put on the outside? Or maybe I'll go with this one. This is really one of my favorites. Actually, I'm going to do this one. You have a lot of flexibility with this. I will say that if you pick a paper that is not directional on either side, so for example, this paper, it's a tossed pattern, so it doesn't have an up or a down. You can get two of our hearts out of it. So here's the ones that I cut out this morning. You can see this. So here's the tutorial. You're going to go ahead and print it. It is important, if you're going to make it the same size that I'm teaching you to make, you need to make sure that this prints a 1-inch test square accurately at 1 inch. Okay. So if you print it at 100%, on your printer, it's going to print at 1 inch. If it comes out less than 1 inch, you need to check your printer window settings and make sure that you've got this at 1 inch, because then the scoring won't work. You could use the scoring guides that I've put on here without the, if your heart prints a different size, but you'll need to make your card a different size. So, okay, so here is the one. This is kind of the messy side with my figuring that I've got here. If your paper has a direction, you're going to end up where you can see that one heart was right side up and one heart had the pattern upside down. So I'm going to learn from that and go ahead and do one here that doesn't have a direction to it. And your best bet is to use a pencil, so you can erase your pencil lines if you accidentally go on. And we're going to talk a lot about scoring And the scoring tools that I like to use for this project are either the trimmer, the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, which is a great scoring tool, especially because of the rulers that you're gonna see. And also, or the Simply Scored tool, which is also a great one. And both of those have great perks to them. So I think I'm gonna use the trimmer this morning. So I'm going ahead and cutting right on our pencil line. And you can see why having a pencil line is good because you can erase it. Let's see, I do love this paper. It has these little candy suckers on it. Aren't they darling? If you're looking for more Valentine's ideas, I have a whole bunch posted on my blog. And I think I've got a playlist started on YouTube. So I'm not gonna bother with my pencil lines now, but you guys will definitely go back and do that. So, all right, so we got our paper cut here. So this is gonna be our envelope. And then we have a card, and the card base is made from, sorry, I didn't freeze, I just had to go away for a second. The card base is made from real red cardstock to match the colors in our designer series paper. And this one I need to cut down. So our card size, I look at my own directions, is 3.5 by 7. And then I'm gonna show you the simple scoring for this. So 3.5 is gonna cut here, and then 7. And let's see, I can do that by subtraction. So 7 is 8.5 minus, or you can go ahead and just swing out your piece there. So I've got this here at 7, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut that, okay? All right, now, what did I say? To score this, you're gonna score it at 2 inches and 4.5 inches. And again, if you're like, Meg, you're going too fast. If you're watching on YouTube, you can slow this down. I love that feature. Or you can get the downloadable tutorial because the link is in the video description. Okay, so this is gonna be our card here. It's a trifold, just like those current ones. Oh, I missed it. Did anybody remember those current Valentines? I don't know, maybe it was just me. Let's see, there you are, yeah. Okay, so nobody remembers current Valentines but me. Well, that's okay. I still think they're fun. Okay, so you're gonna decide which one you want to be the inside of your card and which one you want to be outside. I think that the sucker paper is gonna have to be the outside for me. And when you score, you're gonna score from the outside, okay? So I'm gonna score here, and I'm gonna bring this in, and I'm gonna go through the directions in the tutorial with you so that you can kind of see how they go. Let's see, I think there's room for me to pop this here. All right, so directions. Cut heart from designer paper, done. Cut card from cardstock and score, done. Begin with the heart sideways, 2 bumps on the left. All right, now I am going to turn this for you. So 2 bumps on the left, all right? Remember that there are 2 blades on the trimmer. There is a scoring blade, which is the light one. It's like the light duty. And there's the heavy duty one, which cuts all the way through. So we're gonna get that out of the way. We're gonna open this up and slide this in. So 2 bumps on the left. So this is your left. And then we are going to line up the heart squarely on the scoring tool. Now by squarely, I mean, if you line up the edges of the heart, so this one at 2 inches and this one at 2 inches, then you know that your heart is sort of, you know, square on the trimmer. If you're lining it up like this, clearly you're not gonna get a straight score line. So this is a great perk of this particular trimmer because you can see so many score lines. We're gonna use that over and over again. So score 2 inches basically down from the top. So I've scored there, okay? Now, I'm gonna score at 4 3/4 inches from the top. So keeping this straight, I'm gonna keep these 2 lined up. I'm gonna go all the way to 4 3/4 inches, which is right here. And so I know that if I line these heart bumps up again, the top of those heart bumps, then I will have a line. Now I can also double check it because you can see the score. You maybe can't, but I can see the score line here is right at 3 1/4 inches. So I know I've still got it straight, okay? So use your tools. Oh, thank you, Kitty. Someone remembers current Valentines. I remember looking through the catalog and they had like mazes and connect the dots and they're so exciting. Okay. All right, and so now we're going to turn our hearts. So the point side is down. We're going to use it squarely again. And we're gonna score at 2 inches from the left edge. So I'm gonna line this up at 2. Now, there's only one place to line up. So how do we tell where this is straight? What I'm gonna do is put my score line as an extension of this line. So maybe you can't see it, but there's a score line right across here, and I can see, trust me on this, that it is nice and straight. So I wouldn't want it to be like that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and, well, now it moved. Okay, so I'm gonna get to line it up again. There we go. So now it's square, and I'm gonna go ahead and score there. And then I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm going to repeat and score 2 inches again. And I can see my score line right there. So I'm going to, I know that that's lined up, and we're 2 inches over because I'm at this 2-inch line right here. And I'm going to hold with a little plastic thing and score. Okay, so now we have 4 score lines here that are just like the ones on the packet or on the tutorial. So now we're gonna take our little piece here, and I said that's the outside. So the first thing you wanna do is you wanna fold the outer edges, and you're gonna fold it in this order so that you can seal it with a little finish. And then you're gonna fold the bottom and the top. Okay, and now our little treat card fits in. I'm gonna give you some tips for decorating this. And you can fold the panels over, fold the top down, and fold the bottom up. And there is gonna be our treat packet, okay? Now, we're not finished with this either, because I'm gonna give you some tips for getting this sealed so that you have kind of fun stuff in here. And a really important tip about adding some Velcro dots and the candy inside. So you want to make sure you kind of watch in order, because you don't want to jump ahead and be like, oh, I'm sealing that shut, because then your candy won't fit, okay? All right, so we've got our outside here, and we're gonna go ahead and use a heart. So a lot of times, let's see, I store extra pieces in my stamp cases. I store things like little extra hearts that I made that were punched with the heart punch here, and then stamped and so forth. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. So let's go ahead and put our candy stuff in here. We're gonna close this up, and we're gonna put our heart on. Now listen for this direction, because you don't want to use this Stampin' Dimensional that's on here to seal this shut necessarily. I'm gonna use it just as to hold the decorations on. So I'm gonna do it a little off center, and that dot is not going to seal my packet shut. See how that works? Okay, so we're gonna come back and we're gonna seal this, and I'll teach you how to do that. But there is the outside of our packet. We'll add some ribbon to it too. But let's look at our card again and figure out what we're gonna do to decorate this card. We'll get the Ghirardelli square out of the way. I do love these, by the way. They're the perfect size candy for so much stuff. So let's do some pieces here to fit on our card layer. So I'm gonna cut some pieces for the front of this that are 2 inches by 3 inches, and I'm gonna use some of the other designer series paper from our treat, and go ahead and cut that. So this one can be a layer that might go here. And then let's grab, let's see, so many choices of paper. Actually, this one's kind of fun because it would match the front. I think that scrap is too small though. Let's see. Oh, here's one. How about this one? So this paper colors are all gonna match and go together nicely because they are all from the same package. So a great way to mix and match supplies for a project. And then finally we need a piece of basic white, and we're gonna make that one 2 inches by 3 inches also. Oops. So measuring the wrong direction. Here's 3 inches. Okay. And then 2 inches. This way. All right. All right, and here we go. Okay, so we have our pieces together, and I'm gonna go ahead and start to layer these. So I like the way our fold comes on the front. I love when we have something that overlaps the fold. So we're gonna go ahead and add this. I'm gonna add adhesive so that it's not gonna seal our card shut. Oops, there we go. And so it's gonna go across like this. So I didn't add adhesive to the very bottom because I wanted that to be able to flap open. And because I cut these two pieces to the same size, then we know that this one's gonna be hidden underneath that other layer there. So I'm gonna put that in the center. All right, so there's our card start. And to keep on decorating this, I'm gonna go ahead and add some pieces to the front. So I have that heart punch handy. Let's see, I'll set this on here. Heart punch handy, and I think, let's see, sometimes I love to use the cardstock that coordinates with a designer series paper because it gives me just a little bit more neutral and a little less pattern. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this heart on here. And then let's go back to our little packet of things that we've got pre-cut. So let's see, I have some of these from the designer series paper. And this paper, you can actually use the dies to cut directly these cute hearts. So there's 3 little shapes and they cut these 3 largest, not the teeny ones, but the 3 larger ones. And so you can cut those out, and I just keep them again in my stamp case so that they're ready. And I don't know, let's go with, what do we have here? BFF, you are cute, love you. Maybe I'll go with you are cute, and we'll go ahead and I'm gonna show you a tip for attaching some pieces here. Let's see, we'll do it out here a little bit. And I like to kind of overlap those separately. Let's see, so in my packet of pieces, I have some die cut hearts that are, oh, here they are. Okay. So here in my packet of pieces, I have more of my hearts. And then I have these little die cut heart elements that are also from the same Conversation Heart dies, Sweethearts dies. So it's this one right here. And so I've got this cut out through the magic of television. And I could go ahead and glue this down, but here's the easiest trick. So I'm kind of holding it in place. I've gauged where I want it. I'm just gonna pop a Stampin' Dimensional there on the end. And then I'm going to cover that there with my heart, okay? So make it easy on yourself. You don't have to work so hard to cover those things. And there we go. Okay, so there's that layer. Then we have our center layer. And let's do some stamping here. I've got my Real Red ink pad to match my Real Red everything else. And I'm gonna go ahead and stamp. I love this little love you. So I'm gonna do color on color because I don't wanna overwhelm our design in the center. I'm gonna go ahead and just stamp some of these kind of along the edge, some maybe off the edge of the paper. Let's see, I'm only gonna cover one panel, so I guess a lot of these are gonna show. And then I'm gonna take this little heart accent. So if you're mixing and matching hearts, this set is really a great set of choices for you. It gives you lots of heart flexibility. So let's go ahead and pop some more of these on here and then some at the bottom. And I'm kind of varying like the height of our hearts and the spacing on the paper. There we go. And maybe one more down here. Usually I say when you figure, oh, I could fit one more, then that's a good time to stop and not go on, but we just did there. Okay, oh, I stamped on that accidentally, so we'll flip this over. And then I have the little Happy Valentine's Day greeting. So you could use this. I know if you're watching, you're thinking, I do not have small people in school. I do not have a need for Valentine's. I would argue that everyone has a need for Valentine's because everyone has someone in their life that they could give some treat to. If you order from Amazon, your Amazon driver would be over the moon to get a little tiny wrapped treat from you. If you go to the bank, if you go to the gym, no matter where you're going or where you're seeing, hi Louise, where you're seeing people, make some treats and share them, right? Tis the season of giving little treats of things. So let's go ahead and pop our center greeting in here. And if you are stamping with small people, of course, then this is a really fun little quick project that you could put a whole bunch of these together. So, okay, so I'm gonna pop my peppermint bark in there. I'm going to close up my heart candy. I'm gonna get my ink out of the way. And I'm gonna show you how we're going to close our treat. So remember, you're gonna fold the sides in first, then you're gonna fold the top down, and then you're gonna fold the bottom up. Okay, we're gonna keep that all in there. And then we're gonna use a little Velcro dot. And you get these anywhere, like they're often in the checkout line at like Walmart or something like that. But there's an easy way and a hard way to attach these. So to save you some trouble, I'm gonna show you the easy way. so you can avoid the hard way. So these happen to have all connected, so you just need dots, and I've got the front and the back stuck together already. Okay, so you want to take those off. And then I know that it has to fit here on my heart, so I'm going to go ahead and peel one side of our heart element, and I'm going to pop it on the back of our heart, kind of near the top, because I want it to have the most power of shutting things. Now, it's really important that you do this when your candy and your card are inside. Okay, if you do this flat without the candy and card inside, it's going to end up too tight to fit your candy and your card. So close it up again, and I'm going to take the backing paper off the other side of our Velcro dot now, okay? So this is sticky. So when I close this, I'm gonna carefully make sure it's placed where I want, and I'm gonna press it down, okay? Give it a second to make sure that adhesive is on there. And now, of course, that is going to hold our packet together, okay? So let's add a little bit of ribbon to finish this off, the real red faux linen ribbon. This is a great trick. If you don't know how much ribbon you need, do you guys cut ribbon and then you have like little tiny bits laying around because you cut too much and you're like, I wasted that. So what I like to do is not cut the ribbon, just leave it on the roll and tie it while it's still here. You can see still attached to the roll. That way, if you way overshoot, you can go back. And if you undershoot, you haven't wasted a piece of ribbon that was just too short. And if you got it just about right, which I would say here I'm pretty happy with, always cinch your bow ends down. If you're thinking your bow doesn't look quite right, just try cinching a little tighter. All right, and then here is a way to clasp up your ribbon ends. You probably know this trick, but you can just cut them at an angle. Certainly that's like nicer than blunt cut, that phrase. But another thing you can do is pinch that in half and then cut at an angle here. And you're gonna angle toward the ribbon roll end, and then you get that little fun, little fishtail end. So let's do this one too. So I'm gonna match up the sides and then cut, and then there is our little fishtail end. All right, what do you guys think? Let's see, I have another one here to show you. This one is, here we go. This one here, I already took the bow off. I don't know what I did with the bow for this. Oh, here it is. So there's the bow for this one. So this is a different paper. And this one is gonna open. This is actually the one that I used with the upside down pattern. So then this one opens, oops, there we go. Like so, or whichever way we're gonna open it. And then it has that same little card inside. Nothing says you have to use candy. I guess, let's see. Did I really? No. Okay, I'm having trouble figuring upside and downside here for you guys. No one says you have to put candy in, but you know, candy is kind of a fun treat. And then if you really wanted to add some bling to this, of course, the bling that is in this suite is the iridescent rhinestone jewels, which, let's face it, go with everything. So you could always pop a couple of these guys on here and have, let's see, I'll do 1, 2, 3 different sizes. I'll use one of each. So there's some little bling there to go, and you can put some bling on the inside if you want to. All right, let's see. Oh, a couple people said that the video is freezing this morning. Sorry. We're working on some internet stuff. Who knows what's going on there, but we'll get it sorted out. And certainly it should look good later if you're watching the replay. So let's see, I'm just checking comments. I'm glad you guys like it. So if you're looking for a treat heart packet, this is the printable. It is on my blog right now. So you can click over there, LovenStamps.com, and look for my blog. Or you can look in the video description. There is a link there, and you're gonna print this paper just like this. You're going to cut it out so that you have your heart template like this. And if you missed this at the beginning, make sure you check. There's a 1-inch test square on there. I do a lot of PDF patterns like for sewing, so I love the 1-inch test square. Your 1-inch test square should be 1 inch. You should measure it with a ruler to make sure after you print. If it's not 1 inch, go back and reprint. Make sure your printer settings are set so that it's printing at 100%, all of those things. Sometimes there's weird defaults that'll like make it smaller or bigger or whatever. So make sure it prints at 100%. Because if you don't print it at 100%, my scoring directions and the card directions are gonna be off. So you can still adapt it, it can still work. You would want to, measure, maybe you can measure the little white lines on there and use those as your guide instead of the ones that are printed down here if you cannot get it to print at 1 inch, all right? But yeah, so I hope you guys love these little treats. If you have someone who you are going to make one for, or somebody you're going to make them with, post that in the comments because I love to hear where things are going. And remember, of course, if you need to stock up on the little Ghirardelli treats, this is a great time to go grab some of those. I don't know if you can still find Christmas clearance candy. These Christmas clearance ones were red and white stripes, so they are kind of perfect also. But yeah, lots of fun this morning, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you're staying warm wherever you are, and if you happen to have today as a holiday, I hope that you are enjoying some time to do some extra crafting and have some creativity in your life. So happy stamping, guys. I'll be back on Wednesday, and I will see you then. Thanks for watching.